Well, hey man, thanks for coming back on the channel.
You know it. Thanks for having me.
It's been a while, and you've been touring and making records, and I'm excited to catch up.
Hey, thanks very much. I'm glad to be here. I think doing these videos with you is one of the best parts of being home from tours. So
yeah, cool.
Well, yeah.
Have you heard of MAPHRA yet?
You know what? I've heard the name from you and other vocal enthusiasts, but I actually haven't seen any of the videos yet.
Okay, well, you got to check them out. You got to check them all out, but I want to show you, I haven't seen this one either yet. I want to show you the Linkin Park cover that she did, because I know you're a massive Linkin Park fan.
Indeed.
And this is of the Emptiness Machine, so it's an Emily Armstrong cover.
All right.
But let's see what you think. I'd love to hear your comment on her techniques, and I've done 2 videos on her now, and she's absolutely incredible. She's doing some things that I don't think I've heard out of a vocalist in quite a while. So,
wow. All right. Well, fresh ears incoming. I can't wait to check it out.
Your blades are sharpened with precision, flashing your favorite point of view. I know you're waiting in the distance, just like you always do, just like you always do. Already putting it in, already under my skin. I know exactly how this ends.
So already, like, it's this weird, switch. She's got such a deeper voice than Emily Armstrong. It's more covered. It's more brooding.
Already putting it in.
Beautiful vibrato, right?
Yeah, gorgeous,
Sinister.
Great control. It's all there.
Just like you always do, just like you always do. Already putting it in, already under my skin. I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive.
I like how she does this letdown thing, even in her lower range. Listen to this.
Already putting it in, already under my skin. I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed.
Just to watch me bleed.
Yeah, some cool attitude on the entry and exits of these notes. That's what adds, more dimension to a vocalist. It's not just hitting the notes. And obviously the tone is beautiful, but then you got that flavor at the beginning and the end of the notes. She's fantastic. I'm already loving this.
Gave up who I am for
Ooh, a little crack there.
Yeah.
who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine, the emptiness machine. It's been decided how we lose, 'cause there's a fire under the altar. I keep on lying to, I keep on lying to. Already pulling me in, already under my skin. And I know exactly how this ends.
Okay, before we get to the big part, it's important to note here that right at the beginning, she's essentially, she is doing Mike's role, right? Like when this song was revealed to the world live for that first time, we had Mike singing that whole first part, and she really captured a very different character there than she's gone here with this Emily section, this initial Emily section.
So I love the controlled heat that she's putting on her voice during these higher notes, giving some of that upper chest compression distortion. For me, I'd probably approach that with kind of a fry distortion. It's a bit higher for my voice, so over is how I do it. With a little rah, that fry sort of upper constriction creaking. But I think since she has a higher range, over, yeah. For me, it feels also kind of like that James Hetfield false chord Metallica distortion, and it's kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
I mean, at least that's how I would approach it, because like over, I'm in my chest, and then it sort of like goes into my upper fry register, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like a combination of both.
Sure.
Whatever she's doing, it is absolutely rad.
Yeah. I like that you described it as a balance, and then also talking about how you would approach it based on knowing your voice versus what she's doing because she knows her voice and where she's at in her range.
Yeah.
Going around like a revolver.
Yeah, you definitely hear the there as opposed to the you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a really gnarly, aggressive breakup. I love it.
Going around like a revolver. It's been decided how we lose. 'Cause there's a fire under the altar.
Yeah, it's great.
I keep on lying too. I keep on lying too.
And even there on those entrances, I keep on lying. There's that compression that comes in there, and then she releases.
In the more straightforward singing sections, it sounds very much like a pop vocalist, like kind of like a Halsey or Dua Lipa type thing, a little bit for me. There's other vocalists in the pop world that I'm trying to think of, but I'm not super well versed. But the one that Heat comes in, it gives it that like alternative rock element.
Yeah.
This person is extremely well versed on their own voice. I can tell they have a ton of experience. The control is so precise. All of these little details, they seem calculated to me.
I keep on lying too. I keep on lying too. Already pulling me in. Already up to my skin. And I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive.
Jesus, man.
For the promise of the emptiness machine.
Shivers.
Wow.
Shivers.
Dude, okay. So this instantly makes me want to theorize about her range and her voice, because when she's going full distortion and those higher notes, like that's how I would sort of approach a note that's like too high for me to hit in chest voice.
Talk about more. Talk about that more.
Yeah. So like if I'm trying to reach a note that's like really up there, and I'd have to like go into my mix and head voice, right? Like, it sounds thin and weak. At least when I'm doing that. But if I add a little of that heat, it sort of creates like the feeling of a belted out chest note, and
even though
she's going
not,
full,
that's not belted.
No, it's like a mixed voice with some sort of fry false chord. It's kind of a combination. It feels like a little bit of both. But it's like full blast distortion when she's same. It's coming from the same place.
Right.
It's just turning that distortion dial up.
And you hear that volatility of sometimes the pitch isn't quite that. You hear this sort of volatile, screamy thing that has nothing to do with note. Once in a while, like it goes in and out. It's just teetery enough, even though she has great control. It's just teetery enough to make you go like, oh, which we haven't heard much. Let's listen to it again.
Already pulling me in, already under my skin, and I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine.
And you definitely,
Damn, man. Yeah.
you definitely hear like there's this tighter fry distortion going on, that airiness to it, and then you also hear that lower, like you said, it's a combination. You hear that false chord blippy sound in there too every once in a while, as well as the melody, and it goes in and out in such a wonderful, artful way.
I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed.
Like think about Just.
Oh man, that's gnarly. Yeah, just it. There's moments of like pure humanity and aggression and just like soul coming through it. That doesn't, like you said, it doesn't for moments it doesn't adhere to a note, but that's what makes it like so cool sounding. And but at the same time, dude, like it's very controlled. Like singing like this and navigating through notes, like that is fucking hard to do. And now I have a better idea of her range, you know. If I would venture to guess, and it's just a guess, like perhaps her chest voice doesn't go super high.
Right.
And a lot of people with like slightly lower chest voices, they're like, oh man, you know, I'm cursed and I can't hit the high notes. This is how you conquer that, you know, because like trying to be like, cut me open, you know, it's like, oh my God, you know, my chest, but cut me open, like doing it that way, it gives you the freedom to run your voice up without a huge chest voice load to lift.
Yeah, because you're not relying on your chest voice. You're using other techniques like compression, mixed voice, vocal fry, all these things to create a layered approach, which gives you that strength. And this is something that you teach day in and day out. You don't just do it on tour. You know what you're doing. If people want to go and work more with you, where's the best place to start?
You can start by checking out my free warm-up course, which will be in the pinned comment or description of this video. And that's kind of a good gateway going into all of this cool stuff.
To my skin, and I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be.
So talk about that note. That note is very much more like,
Yeah. What in me? So I think as you navigate through your range, the type of distortion kind of changes. I think the placement of it is fluctuating. Because when you're singing lower, you know, I'm feeling more of like the grunt, which comes kind of like from a lower place. You know, I feel that more in my chest. But when she goes, like I sort of start to feel the distortion moving up into like my cheeks and my forehead area. Again, that's how I would approach it. This really reminds me a lot of the same stuff that I was learning when trying to crack that code of distorted singing.
Nice.
Especially in the higher range, because again, like, you know, wanted me to be, like you can sing it that way, but if you sort of like, it's very watery and you know what I mean? It sounds like there's a healthy moisture going on in the scream there. It's supported by hydration, and it's not just, you know, raw throat,
raw aggression. Right. Yes. Exactly.
It's there's a lot going on in there. It's very controlled. It's not just like, oh, well, if I like shout, it's gonna do that. It sounds, again, it sounds like a planned, premeditated approach to hit
highly
those notes.
Honed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very highly honed. I like that.
Now I am hoping for what I won't receive, falling for the promise of the emptiness machine. to be part of something.
Now she sounds like a lounge singer.
Dude,
In a
there's so
good way.
much, so much emotion and character.
Wanted to be part of something. I only wanted to be part of.
Oh, we got to talk about her weight change there,
Yeah,
even in the, low.
crescendo. Yes.
Part of something. She's
Yeah.
almost like she leans in, and there's this bite to her voice, even though it's low. But then she backs off into that vibrato, and then you hear her brighten it up, and she's like, yeah.
Self-compression, I guess you could call it, in the actual volume. Part. It kind of it sort of resembles like getting farther away and closer.
Yeah, it does.
To the source or to the mic, and that also conveys a lot of expression.
Right.
Super meticulous.
I only wanted to be part of something.
It almost sounds like she goes into. It almost sounds like she goes into head voice there.
I only wanted to be part of. I only wanted to be part
Who wanted? Like, ha, ha.
of. I only wanted to be part of something. I only wanted to be part of. I only wanted to be part of something. I only wanted to be part.
Also, listen to on that last wanted versus the other wanteds. This last one was like more of a whoa, like a moan, but the other ones were so much brighter. They were placed totally differently. And this isn't even distorted stuff. This is just like her range, not note range, but her tonal range and placement range in her clean singing, which is, as you discuss a lot in your course, it's part of what makes our voices interesting, right?
Oh yeah.
I only wanted to
So that one, wah, 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 it's very bright, right? And then listen.
Yeah.
be part of. I only wanted to be part of something. I only wanted to be part.
Yeah. Those are the kind of creative choices you can make once you have these tools in your arsenal. You can be like, how do I want to approach this note? Do I want to give it some of that, or do I want to sort of hone in on just
right.
just really like clamping down on that note? And I think going back and forth through those choices, it makes you feel things, even on a subconscious level. I know I'm getting like really nerdy with it, but there's a big difference in how it affects you. Just from an emotional standpoint of just singing things straight up, technically and precise, which is great. But then making these choices and adding a little humanity to it.
I only wanted to be part. Let you cut me open.
Whoa.
Just to watch me
Hold on a second.
Whoa.
Can you run that back? I need to hear that again.
Let you cut me open. Just to watch me bleed.
Let me just do it like fast and then I'll slow it down. So, let you cut me off. You're adding in that rah rah, that sort of vocal fry E upper constriction feel. So I'll sort of slow it down. So it exists like in the voice crack. And really I'm just teetering on like where the voice sort of yodels, where it goes like right there. That's the sensation that we're sort of turning the dial up. We're adding to the note itself. So, let you cut, let you cut, let you cut. It's just and you can hear I'm slowly turning that dial up.
As you add more and more of that fry sensation, there's this sense that you're pushing more. There's more intensity, but it's not a pushed chest.
No. Yeah, it's a pushed core, but you're holding back, really. You're holding back chest. Like, I think that's where a lot of times we get mixed up trying to belt these big, distorted, powerful notes. Is we're like, oh, we really just got to like push everything. But you're conserving, you know, in a way. When you push with your core, it conserves that energy. It tightens and clamps down on how much you're actually using. So in a way, it's holding back the air.
So that part actually sounds like it's out of her range, right?
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, you can actually use these techniques to increase your range, or at least the illusion of your range. But there's not a lot of note in there. So you're actually relying on an almost 100% like noteless thing for parts of that. Show us that.
Yeah, I think that it sort of teeters in and out of a note there, so it becomes like the distortion pedal is at 70 and then it's at 100. You know, like it again. Behind it is just you know, very soft and bright, and then you can go full force and just the note, you know, it stops, and so. On that word cut, the note's almost indistinguishable, like the distortion is fluctuating and going all the way, and then it pulls back again, and we're hearing notes. So, you know, what you caught me up, you know.
Sure.
I would say like 70%, and then I'm going 100% distortion, and then I'm pulling back.
It's so
back
good.
To
Let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be.
The wanted right there, and B, like all that, it's a little bit more throaty, isn't it?
Yeah. I think during the lower notes, that distortion is sort of lowering as well. That constriction, who you wanted, you know, there's like almost a little bit of grunt in there.
Yeah, so very chesty.
Yeah, and she's flowing through that so fluidly. You know, who you want? I'm feeling like a down and then a lift up. Who you wanted me to be? You know, it's going up and down.
However, who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm open, so fucking naive.
How clean Naive is too. Man, it's so pingy and just hits you right in the forehead.
Yeah. And there, right there, I feel like the distortion's on like 50%, right?
Sure.
So it's pulled back. It's not, you know, it's not naive, but it's not naive, you know, naive. You got it peppered in there really nicely.
Now I am open, so fucking naive. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine. The emptiness machine. The emptiness machine.
Oh, I like that. Oh,
Yeah. So cool because like if you listen on like the first two, it's doing this like whiny yodely, you know, again mastering the voice crack, and then on the last one, it's just more straight up, where she really locks in, and just like uses the pure voice right there.
The emptiness machine. The emptiness machine.
Heavy stuff. Great stuff. Wow. Mind-blowing performance from MAPHRA. So many things going on. So many little meticulous details adding together and pulling these tricks out of the hat at will. You know, every few seconds is a bunch of stuff to analyze. That was beautiful.
And like you said earlier, all very practiced, right?
Yeah.
It sounds so fluid and off the cuff because she knows her voice so incredibly well.
Yeah, I'd venture to guess that she's probably spent a long time just experimenting and making goofy, silly noises, and having just little moments of, whoa, what was that? You know, how can I use that? It's just really beautiful to see the results of a well-crafted voice. something that's been labored over and analyzed. And, you know, a lot of people, they hear that and they're like, oh, you know, you're just like that. But the truth is, it's the result of a lot of trial and error and dedication and just getting to really know your voice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you'd like to get to know your voice even better and you'd like to work with Andy so that you can figure out some of this stuff, screaming, highs, lows, mixed voice, range expansion, click that link below in the pinned comment or video description and start by joining his free course, Monumental Vocal Warm-Ups with Andy Cizek. And here are some more videos that I've done with Andy.